Welcome to JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Limitless Creations. And with me now, the one and only Tyler Goodjohn. How you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really well, mate. Really well. Where did before we get into it, where did El Tornado come from?
So the tornado part come from my first ever amateur coach, Mick, who I always have on the back of my shorts when I fight. I always have Mick. So if you're wondering why I have Mick on the back of my shorts, that is why. Obviously, if you've watched the documentary, you'd know. But yeah, so he called me the Tornado because at the start of my amateur career, I was just a little chunky little kid who just tore in. And then, so I was called the Tornado. Then I turned professional, and it was a known thing that sort of like I fought like a Mexican. I come forward and just had it basically. So yeah, I got the El Tornado from the professional glove days. So yeah, that's where it come from.
Because obviously that's where it all started for you, wasn't it? Was boxing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I started boxing when I was 10. Mum and Dad just took me to my local boxing gym. Like I say, I was an overweight kid, and I don't know, I just got bitten by the boxing bug, I suppose, and loved it. I lost my first 7 fights as an amateur when I was 11, and I stuck around, and then it just clicked for me.
Yeah. Why didn't you? I'm going to ask you straight up. Why did you give it up, mate? Because you were quality as a boxer.
What, the glove boxing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd more or less made my mind up that I was going to retire from boxing at the age of 26. I'd lost the love for it. I'd just be honest with you, mate. There's a lot of politics and all that rubbish. And do you know what I'm saying? And it just it took all the money out. Took all the love, out of it. And yeah, the money is outrageous, to be honest. It's scandalous. Do you know what I mean? If you knew what some of the fights that I fought in, the venues and the channels they're on and that, and you knew the money I was on, it's honestly scandalous. And then eventually I'd done a podcast, and I spoke about making weight, which is, everyone in boxing or combat sport knows that you use saunas or steam baths or hot baths or Epsom salts or whatever to lose weight. That's just that's a known fact in combat sports. I spoke about it on a podcast. Boom, next week British board had banned me from boxing, so they took my license off me. I rang them up and gone, what's this all about? And they just said, look, if you want to try and get your license back, you got to bring a solicitor in front of the board. And I just went, boom, nah, I'm done. I'm retired. Yeah. So,
isn't it? Because you think, how do a lot of people lose the weight in some respects then?
Do you know what? It's like every boxer I've ever told that to, but has just looked at me and gone, but everyone does that. And I was like, yeah, I know that, and we all know that, but apparently you're not allowed to talk about it. And to be honest, I think the reason they just banged me with such a hard punishment was that that week the podcast had come out that Scott Westgarth had just died in an English title fight. In a 10 rounder, and I think they just sort of more or less used me as an example, really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, to basically say it's too much of a risk to take that with your weight loss. And
like I say, it's just a taboo thing. I mean, every fighter does it, but yeah, if they find out or if it's seen to be done, they clamp down on it and try and punish it. But it's a bit of a joke, really, because when you think, all these fighters are getting caught with steroids and everything else and getting a 6-month ban, I got banned and had to, I got banned outright. There was no limit, no time limit or anything else. It was outright. We took your license off you. You want to come back, you've got to bring a solicitor with you. For saying that I used a sauna. It wasn't, it was detrimental to my performance. It was in no way a gainer. Do you know what I mean? It's not a
Yeah,
performance. Sauna's not a performance enhancer. I know. I understand we went through the whole. I know they're trying to example the dangers of it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's our profession. It's our work. We've got to do these things. In as long as I'm not hurting the other person by taking a performance enhancer or something like that. But yeah,
yeah. It's a strange one, mate. It's a
that's
strange one.
border controls beef with me. It just shows you how disposable you are as a fighter, though, because I was not in some known fights, on the British scene as a professional glove boxer. I still get my fans from the boxing days who are like, remember me from the York Hall days where weren't on TV. They were just the small hall little classics and stuff like that, and they're my fans from back then. So yeah, just disposable, I think, is the best.
Yeah. Some of the best nights are at York Hall, aren't they, mate? To be honest, you've got the intimate atmosphere, haven't you? And you
Do you know what?
probably couldn't have one of the better places, really.
I remember saying, like, I used to tell people all the time, if I was to go, the kind of fights that excited me the most as a boxer to watch were the like you said, the York, all the Southern area title fights, the English title fights, and then the British title fights, because everyone was at that stage where the Southern area, you've had them few warm-up fights. Now you're against another contender now who's perhaps unbeaten or whatever. Same with the English, and then the British is the title that's then gonna springboard you onto the world scene. Do you know what I mean? So like Friday Fight Night, when that used to be on on Sky.
Yeah,
that for me was when boxing was at its best. You know what I mean? Best to watch as a a person who appreciates boxing.
yeah. So quickly before we move on, we got a comment. My son's in the other room. He's just put hello. Bless him, Tommy. He's
Hello, Tommy.
getting to watch your documentary. I think that'll blow his mind. He was saying, "Oh, it can't be that bad," but we'll see. And yeah, Gail's jumped in and said, "That's crap about your
Yeah, man.
the whole thing. It's mad." But like you say, that's the way it is, and it's how you bounce back, isn't it?
Yeah, and well, look, I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason. And let's face it, that if I hadn't been banned from boxing, I probably would have just carried on with it a bit, lost with it. But I've found my sport now in bare knuckles. You know what I mean? I found what this is the game that I want to be in.
Yeah, and mate, I'll tell you, Gail's jumped in. Watch your documentary. I'm now a fan.
Thanks.
Boxing PSH. If it's not performance enhancing, how do the boxing border control get away with this kind of thing? Well, Tyler's still trying to figure that out. And yeah, my wife stepped in, Tyler.
Right.
I've told you about her.
Yeah.
And she's put, oh, here he is.
Hello.
Shout out to the missus for belting you with her bag.
Oh, right, on the documentary, yeah. Yeah.
Mate, we'll get to the documentary.
Yeah.
It's quality. But
yeah.
After obviously what happens, you then went into your BKB.
Mm-hmm.
You found the sport, really, didn't you? And you found where you want to be.
Yeah. It was just I honestly, hand on heart, to be honest, I don't really even watch that much glove boxing anymore. It's just like I say, I'd lost the love with it anyway, and then just jumped into this BKB or bare knuckle boxing, and it's my thing. Do you know what I mean? It's a whole new level of gladiatorial stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's that proper. Yeah, it's like
Takes it back, doesn't it? Takes it back to the old school.
Yeah. I think that without being too biased, that fight with me and Sean George, was just that's what bare knuckle boxing is. Do you know what I mean? That's what that is, the bare knuckle boxing fight.
Yeah, if people haven't seen it, that if you're not a fan of bare knuckle, personally, that is the fight to start with. That's the first fight I saw. I'm not going to lie. I'm quite new to bare knuckle, but I'll tell you, wow, that
I'll
if
be.
two guys are going to go for it.
I think I'll be like I say, that was, when you look at bare knuckle boxing, that's what you want to be looking at, because to be honest, the standard can be, it's not up to like the level of professional boxing or UFC or that or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But like, yeah, that if you're gonna watch a bare knuckle boxing match, that was the one. We fought like we had gloves on, basically.
Yeah. I basically think you fought like it was your last, and
Yeah.
yeah, mate, the state of you afterwards,
Yeah.
though, the state of Sean,
Yeah.
and we'll touch on the documentary now, Unbroken.
Mm.
What a documentary! Anyone you can tune in and watch it on YouTube, and it's up for an award at the moment. Let's chuck it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, how can people?
Yeah, so it's Unbroken's up for the Webby Award, which it's the highest honor basically you can get for like internet content. So it's up for like sports documentary. It's literally the highest honor I can get for the internet. So I'm up against some good other documentaries. To be fair, there's like another. I think there's two like women boxers from the America trying to get to the Olympics and that. So it's a people's vote. So yeah, it's basically down to you. And you can find the link to vote, to sign up and vote on my Instagram bio, which is at El Tornado Tyler. And then the link's in my bio. So and then obviously you haven't seen the documentary, watch the documentary, because you'll know what you're voting for.
Yeah, well, just vote for it anyway. But honestly, it's definitely worth watching. It's basically the breakdown is Tyler's journey to the world title, isn't it? And honestly, it gives you a real insight into bare knuckle, what they go through, training, the upsetting the family, upsetting the other half at the time,
Yeah.
and and all sorts of stuff in it, mate. Do you know what I mean? The biggest thing for me was after your fight. I won't spoil it for people, but after your fight, you're laying in, I think it's the hotel bed,
Mm.
and your mum is basically strawing fluid into you because your hands are screwed. Your face, mate, you look like the Elephant Man. No offense, you look fine now, but it's a mess.
Yeah. Nice. Do you know what? Like, with the director and that, all beforehand, we were like, we want this to be as raw as possible. Do you know what I mean? We want it to be brutal, even down to arguments with the missus and stuff like that. Like, it was raw. Do you know what I mean? And it's a true, journey through a training camp and that, but even more so than a glove boxer. It's a bare knuckle fighter. Do you know what I mean? It's which is a whole new concept. Do you know what I mean? It's a new sport. So obviously, it's I'm just showing you what I go through before I fight.
Honestly, mate, I don't know how you do it. I was, as I say, I was talking to Sean not just a bit earlier, and he was saying good stuff about you.
Yeah.
And he just turned around. He said, mate, it's one of those where you go home to the family and they just don't understand because of the fire you've got inside you, but you kind of get what you're putting your family through when you're having your sort of time off after a fight, but then the fire's back and it don't go out. It's so difficult, but
it's it's like, I mean, I've got the best mum and dad I could ever ask for. Do you know what I mean? They have literally supported me from day one. Do you know what I mean? It was a big call saying I was going to start bare knuckle boxing. Obviously, they didn't like it and everything else, but they've just shown me the support all the way. And what happened?
the cat.
But when that happened, you know, when you've got that much support behind you, you know, I was destined to make it somehow. Do you know what I mean? I was so obviously not everyone's blessed enough to get that support. So I was, I've got to put it down to the people I've had around me in my career, because without them, I wouldn't have done it.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you, your mum, she hates it, and you can see she hates it. But blimey, she loves her boy, and that's what it comes down to, doesn't it? You know, we've got one thing I did notice watching a documentary is how much support and love you have from your mum. Her face seeing you all battered, and she was still there for you.
Yeah, I mean,
watch it if you haven't already, mate. They're selling it for you.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, you know, like I say, it's raw. It is how it is. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is, and you know, right down to my driving. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, give them a shout as to what you're up to now. You know, as in you've just opened your shop up.
Yeah. No, I've got my card here, so.
I'll believe that. You are literally, you're a salesman. You don't stop, do you?
Do you want a card? Yeah, no,
So what's it called?
Opened my shop with my two close friends, and it's just going brilliant. Like it's just great. Yeah, like I'm loving it. I'm really into my fashion and that anyway. It's something that I've always loved, and you know, I get to do it with my two close mates. It's just great, and we're just coming up with loads of good ideas and things like that. We had the opening on Saturday, and it just went off. It shut Ely down, which, I mean, to be fair, isn't that big of an achievement, but we're starting small.
Yeah, well, exactly. You got to start somewhere, and
Yeah.
you know what's it called?
It's called Heat Hut, and they're on Instagram at Heat Hut Clothing, and we have a website on. There's a website on there as well. And it just honestly, like, I mean, I go in there, and obviously I've got my mates in there who, obviously, with my training, that I'm not as hands on as they are. They're in there every day, and I'm walking in there, and I'm just like, wow, the clothes we got in it, like, and the trainers and that. I just like, I don't know of any shop. Probably love, like, obviously down London and places like that. You know, there's a few like real quirky stores where you can, you know, get the vintage designer and the new designer clothes and stuff like that. But there's not anything like that round, particularly Cambridgeshire, for 100%. Do you know what I mean? So I think we're onto something.
I'll tell you, hats off to you, Tyler. You're a man that just seems to get into everything and do everything and be successful at stuff.
Do you know what? I just think, why not? You know, if I want to do something, it's, you know, I mean, let's face it, if you dwell on things, right, and think too much about things and let people talk you out of it, you won't do it. So if I take ahead and I really want to do something, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. YOLO, one life. Let's go.
We know that, mate. We know that. We know you just go ahead and do it. Everything.
The only way.
But yeah, the wife's jumped in. Bless your dad. He just gave you a hug and didn't really say anything, but you can see how much he loves you. And someone's put the van.
Bad, doesn't he?
The van.
Ah, ridiculous. What I'm saying, it was raw, mate. Right down to my driving. I let it all hang out. Do you know what I mean?
That van, honestly, Tyler, that was the shittest driving I've ever seen.
You know what? In my defence, right?
You didn't even turn the corner.
It was ridiculous. I mean, they caught me at a bad angle. So basically, what it was, I was very tired. I'd been training. I was making weight. I'd had to drive 3 hours to get to Hastings. I'd had to move all that stuff all day. Do you know what I mean? The van, and then drive home 3 hours. I just got in the car and I was just like, oh, yeah, what a dick. But
Tyler, are you blaming her? Are you blaming her?
Yeah, so basically it was her fault. Yeah, so, and yeah. it happens.
I take it you're not still in touch anymore.
Nah. I've got a sneaky suspicion she was going to pop up somewhere in my life, and yeah, probably cause me some grief. But we'll see.
We'll wait for the day. But no, yeah, my wife's put, I hope he's been a good boy and not kissing too many females.
Nah, not no. Now well, yeah, I probably have been actually.
Tyler, sometimes you're a bit too honest, mate.
Well, honesty is the best policy.
Well, to be fair, it's all over your Instagram, so you're not really hiding it anyway.
Look, I am who I am. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I am who I am. I'm transparent. Everything you see is what I get up to, basically.
Yeah.
You can't. So yeah, I'm probably am too honest in what I do, but
nah, you're just being Tyler. That's all, mate. And someone's put top man Tyler.
Thank you very much.
And go on, Cambridgeshire. Only in a borough. We'll pop over soon.
Sick guy.
Yeah. Enjoy the lifestyle, my wife's put. I don't know what that means, but she definitely ain't coming over to yours, I'll tell you.
Yes. Do you know what? It's a fighter's lifestyle is a bit of a rock and roll lifestyle. And yeah, no, I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah, that's for sure.
When you're only young, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I'm creeping up to 30 now, so I need to
yeah, all right, mate.
Down sooner or later. But we'll see.
No. Well, Tyler, honestly, I think you're an absolute diamond, mate. And we've been talking anyway, haven't we? And I wish you all the best for the future. Hopefully, you'll get that fight soon.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting in the States.
Yeah, I literally just got a message off the promoter. He's saying everything's going really well with my P1 visa. So I'm hoping that I'll be out like June time. So, like I said, I've been training about 9 weeks now. Anyway, I'm in proper good shape. There's some videos of me on the pads and that today. Yeah, I'm in good shape. So when I go out there in June, I'm going to be ready. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, honestly, mate. Hopefully, as I say, hopefully we can get a chance to watch it at some point, even if there's a link afterwards or something. Because if people know what you're about, we've seen the BKB stuff, and you did the damage in BKB.
Yeah,
won the world title, and now it's time to do it in the States, isn't it?
Yeah, for definite, and just hopefully I can be like a pioneer of bare knuckle boxing. I can be the Chuck Liddell or the Rampage Jackson. The guys of the UFC, like to the UFC. They'll be talking about me in 20 years and going, oh yeah, that guy Tyler Goodjohn and all that. So yeah, this is my sport. I've got to prove it.
One thing, would you ever have the rematch with Sean George?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Like, that has to happen. It's how well the documentary is done. Like I said to you earlier, I can't take all that credit for that fight. It takes two to tango, and Sean fought an incredible fight. Brought the best out in me. I think we brought the best out in each other, and we just put on an amazing fight.
Yeah. Have you got a message for Sean now?
Yeah, just like, look, I want to go over to America. I want to smash this Palomino up, but me and you 100% have got to have a rematch because our styles gel, and I just think, 9 times out of 10, it's just going to be a banger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Like it could even be in Wales or whatever. You know what I mean? So I could go over there and do it there, or let's see what happens.
Well, other than the cat throwing my laptop on the floor, I really appreciate, mate, your time.
I know, right?
As I say, stay in touch, Rainy Tyler, and hopefully one day we'll have a catch up, maybe in Cambridge.
Yeah, you don't live far away, so yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, thanks for your time, mate, and keep enjoying life and stay safe.
I'm going to try my best.
You take care, Tyler, all right?
Bye.
Take care, mate. Tyler Goodjohn, what a character. I don't know what my cat was doing. Bloody flew off a windsill. Yeah, what a lad. I'd love to see the rematch between him and Sean George. If you haven't seen the documentary Unbroken, go onto YouTube. BKB Unbroken documentary. That'll come up. Absolute brilliant. It is definitely worth watching. Got to give it a look. Yeah, he's hopefully fighting again soon. It looks around June time in the States. He's sorting his visa at the moment. So yeah, big times ahead. And as I say, I'd love to see that rematch. So he's got his shop going in Cambridge and he's got his ladies all over the world. So yeah, if you like what you've seen, head over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You've been watching JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Limitless Creations. And we do interviews, live watch-alongs, all sorts of content. So, yeah, tune in and enjoy. And I'll see you all soon. Take care. Have some of these.
Are you ready?